where I am now, better than before. Through those open doors, where I am now, where I am now, I'm in a special place. I'll tell you all the place where I am now. It's now time for the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton. I'm Ed Everett, the co-host. The music that you hear in the background is none other than Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, where I am now. And if you'd like to see us live at WGPL 1350 Studio, WMVA 88.9 FM Studio, all you have to do is go to Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton's Facebook page, and guess what? You can see us live right here in the studio. And if you want to hear us all over the world, all you have to do is go to 1350 AM, 1400am.com, click and listen live. And now I want to introduce to some and present to others the host of the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, Miss Yolanda, the Lady Hinton, and a pleasant good morning to you.
Good morning, Mr. E. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood.
Would you, could you, will you be my neighbor?
Let's welcome our neighbors. Let's welcome WGPL 1350 AM listeners.
Peace, 95.3 FM, WPCE 1400 AM, and WMVA 88.9 FM.
Of course, Facebook Live is on and popping. Let's also welcome Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We'll shout you out later on in the show.
Like, share, comment, and subscribe.
Please like, share, please comment, please subscribe. Go to YouTube at FYI Radio Show host Yolanda Hinton. You can also find us at Crystal Records 1, CRISTO, Crystal Records 1. Make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. We promise we'll shout you out.
Shout out.
Mr. E, how was your weekend?
Had a wonderful weekend. Everything is popping. Everything is going well. Just did a whole lot of this and a whole lot of that.
What's a whole lot of this?
This and that.
Ooh,
That
Mr.
and
E
this.
trying to hold back on somebody. We know it was work, church, or whatever.
That's right. It's repetitious work, church. It was a little bit of this and work a little bit of that.
But it sounded like you had a good time, whatever you was doing.
Yes.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I had a great time too.
Tell our listening audience, what did you do this weekend?
I did a little bit of this and a little bit of that. But you know what? My grandson was over. I love him and my son. And talked with my daughter. And it was just beautiful. We had a good time looking at the games. We looked at movies. We ate a little this and a little bit of that. And just kind of like, look, plan. Because guess what? You know, vacation times are coming. It's time for, family vacation, fun, and stuff like that. So, that was the topic of conversation.
I know that's right. I want to say good morning to everybody that's listening to us, especially Miss Sheila Robbins. Thank you so much for tuning in to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world.
Absolutely. We're glad to be here, Mr. E. And this is FYI Radio Show Mondays. Sports Talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, get yourself ready. The temperature outside about 58 degrees. Going to be a little sunny, a little warm today. And guess what? The basketball parquet floors was loaded on Friday and Sunday.
Absolutely. NBA Sports Week. We're getting ready to give the winners and the losers.
Well, when we look at it on the first page, what you see, Miss Hinton, is in your script on Friday, because they're getting ready to get ready for the playoff.
I love that. It's right there at the door.
That's right. The playoff is right around the corner. And on Friday, the Milwaukee Bucks played against the Detroit Pistons and they lost.
Oh, no.
the 125 to 119. And, they getting ready to get out there and get ready to go into these playoff season.
Absolutely.
The Milwaukee Bucks, they won 47 out of 34 and lost 34 games this season. And the Detroit Pistons won 44 and lost 37 games this season. So they are playoff material.
Well, that's marvelous.
That's right. And then the final score for the Indiana Pacers against the Magic beat the Pacers 129 to 115. And their standards are that the Magic won 41 games out of 40, and 41 games out of 80 games.
Yes.
And the Pacers won 49 games out of 32. You said why I'm saying it like that.
Yeah.
It's the reason for, I'm telling you, so that you can make who's in the playoff, who's going to be there, so you can make your decision. You're going to find some teams that we're going to mention today that are down at the bottom of the barrel.
No. What about the Hawks and the 76ers?
Well, when you look at the Hawks and the 76ers, the Atlanta Hawks are 39. They won 39 and lost 42. And the 76ers won 24. They won 24 games and lost 57.
Did you say 57?
57.
Uh-oh.
They lost 57 games. So you know where the 76 are going.
Where they going?
They won't be in the playoff. That's 124. The score was with the Hawks, 124 to 110. And then here we go down to the Hornets. The Charlotte Hornets played against the Boston Celtics. Well, the Boston Celtics won 60 of their games and lost 21.
Well, what's wrong with the Hornets? I don't see but a few games won.
The Hornets won 19 games.
Come on now.
And lost 62.
They won't do
all this year. Now, when you add up those games, when you look at 19 games plus and lost 62, you're looking at 80-some games that they played this whole year. And out of 80 games, they only won 19 of them. What have they been doing the whole year?
I'm surprised, though. The Hornets had a good name. They were doing...
Well, Charlotte,
some seasons they would come through.
Charlotte Hornets and Charlotte football game ain't never did too much of anything. So they got to go back to the bargaining table. They got to get some money down there in Charlotte so that they get a winning football team.
I tell you, these two games, this game right here, the Cavaliers and the Knicks, honey, that was definitely a good game. Cavaliers 108, Knicks 102. But look at the games that they've won, Mr. E.
That's right. The Cavaliers won 64 games and the Knicks won 50 games. So that's playoff material. So you can look for them to try to be in the playoff. I'll tell you a little bit more in just a few more minutes after you listen to Sports Talk. And don't forget that the Wizards played against the Bulls, Chicago Bulls. What a game, slow game, but on Friday night, 119 to 89. And the Bulls had, Chicago Bulls where Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen and all them come from. Well, they had won about 38 games and lost 43. And the Wizards,
17 games, won 64
Why come out? Why dress up? And then you got the Miami Heat. Then you got the Miami Heat. Where Dwayne Wade came out of Miami, and also LeBron James came out of Miami. So you looking at the Miami Heat? They won 37 games and lost 44. And then you look at the Pelicans, New Orleans Pelicans, and I like them. I like them because of Zion, and they ain't did too much of anything.
They sure have. What's going on? 21 games
and lost 40. 60.
60. Ooh, what's going on? You got to go talk to your team.
That's right. I got to go down to New Orleans. They so busy down in February at the Mardi Gras. Y'all got to leave the Mardi Gras and go and practice for some football. 153 to 104. That was the score. And then the Raptors played against the Dallas Mavericks. 124 to 102. Then the Timberwolves played against the Nets.
Yeah.
and the score was 117
Surprise,
to
surprise.
91. So the Timberwolves is a team that you got to reckon with.
Absolutely.
They gonna be in there. The Timberwolves won 48 games and lost 33. So but the Nets, they lost 20. They won 26 games and lost 55.
Absolutely.
The numbers get higher and higher. Then you can make your decision. If your team doing what they supposed to do, if they gonna be in the playoff, you will know it soon and later, because I'm gonna tell you who's clinched what, who's going where, and who's gonna do this.
Well, I checked out the Grizzlies and the Nuggets. The Nuggets came through 117 points to 109. Their numbers are pretty decent. 49 wins, 32 losses. The Grizzlies, 47, 34 losses.
So that's
they
not
all
bad.
Right.
That's right. That's not bad.
Toe.
But here's the team that you got to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
OKC. Kevin Durant used to play down there. A lot of other players came from Oklahoma. And when you look at this score, they won 67 games out of 4 and lost 14.
Not playing at all.
Wait a minute.
They're doing they talking about coming through. Everybody's talking about OKC.
You looking at OKC and you seeing that they have come out to play basketball.
Absolutely.
Won 67 games and lost 14. They already in the playoff. You can rest assured they done clinched. They done got everything that is needed to be right there at the money game.
The Jazz, I can't say the same thing for y'all. 17 games won.
That's the Jazz.
4 games lost.
But when you look at the Spurs, on Sports Talk this morning, you got Miss Hinton and Ed Everett. We're looking at the sports game, bringing you nothing but the best. For those who driving in the car, they're looking at basketball. I want to say good morning to my good friend Pastor Richard Woolard. Say, I think I know a little bit something about sports. Yeah, and to all those folks who are listening, guess what? If you like basketball, this is an enjoyable game, because I don't look at basketball until they get down to the playoffs.
Really? Oh,
That's
you're
right.
not a real fan then.
I don't have a basketball team. I really don't. I like the Golden State Warriors. I like OKC. I like the New Orleans Pelicans. I like those 3 teams.
Okay.
But when you look at the Spurs won 33 games, lost 48, played against the Phoenix Suns, and they lost 36 games and won 45, and the score was 117 to 98. But they said Kevin Durant, where was he at? So sometimes these cats don't show up to play ball.
Well, aren't they waiting for them to get to the playoffs to come out and they're sitting back making sure they don't get injured.
That's right. Then the Friday night, they get down to the playoff. Then on Friday night, my good friend, them Golden State Warriors played against the Portland Trail Blazers, and the score was 103 to 86.
Yes.
Butler came through. Came through. Butler came through.
He's real comfortable there.
Oh yeah,
let's just tell it like it is. He just came in and just became a part of the team, just like it was. Just like his home all the time.
Klay Thompson, who used to play for the Warriors, boo-boo. You ain't no sense you coming back, because Butler knows exactly how to get around and to do what he got to do. So they won. The Warriors won 103 to 86. But here's the breakdown on it. The Warriors is number 7 going into this playoff team.
Really?
They got to play tonight.
They better win, because that's the play-in. They're in the play-in, but they didn't win.
They didn't
Saturday.
win last night. They didn't win Sunday night.
They didn't win last night.
No, they didn't.
And I was disappointed, but we'll get to that. Go ahead, Mr.
We're going to get to that score. We're going to get to that score, because they got to play another game tonight just to try to get into that playoff berth.
They better come through.
Now, so they lost they beat the Trailblazers 103 to 86. The Clippers, they won by 1 point to the Kings, 101 to 100. And the Lakers beat the brakes off the Houston Rockets 140 to 109.
Was our friend in the
You talking about Little LeBron?
Yeah.
Yeah. Little
LeBron's, I heard, was in the game. LeBron's got his 4 points.
He got his little 4 points and sat down. He got it. At least he tried to put some points on the board. So then I went to Sunday game. Then we got to go to Sunday. You got to look at these games, my brothers and sisters. On last night, I mean, the game was on fire. When I got out of church, I came home to the house and I sat down and I began to look at the basketball games on Sunday.
Yes.
I saw the Atlantic Hawks played against the Magics 117 to 105. And then you got the Hornets, Charlotte Hornets. What is
Charlotte Hornets?
They played against the Boston Celtics 93 to 86. It wasn't as bad as
they should have just checked it.
That's right. And then the Knicks played against the Nets 113 to 105. And that's the Pacers. They beat the Cleveland Cavaliers 126 to 118. The Wizards. They beat the Heats by 1 point.
One little point.
By 1 point. And I'm simply saying, and they low on the totem pole.
They sure.
Because they only won 18 games this year.
Well, I tell you what, they came through on this game.
At 119 to 118. I think sometimes when you got a low score like that, they should go and let you check out already. Pack your bags and let you go home. Don't finish the season out.
You said that about the NFL too. Ready to send them home quick.
That's right. Send them home because guess what? Later on down the road, y'all going to fight. Y'all going to push somebody down and you causing valuable players to get injured. The Bulls played last night also yesterday, and they beat the 76ers 122 to 102.
Absolutely. We got the Pistons and the Bucks 133 to 140. The Bucks came through. They both toe-to-toe 46, 48 games, win. That's pretty good.
And then the Nuggets played against the Houston Rockets 126 to 111. And the Mavericks lost to the Grizzlies.
Yes.
132 to 97. And the Timberwolves, they still on fire. They beat the Jazz 116 to 105. And OKC
what can you say about
the New Orleans Pelicans. And the Pelicans, got 100 points, which I'm so proud of New Orleans Pelicans.
That's your fault.
That's right, 115. Both of them are my team. OKC, the Golden State Warriors, and the New Orleans Pelicans, they are my team.
Why do you like the Pelicans?
Because of Zion.
How about this?
Zion is the guy who played that forward center position, who was fast.
Well, what is Zion? How come Zion's not helping them win these games?
He's too heavy. And he busting out of tennis shoes and things of that nature. And so I like Zion, but Zion quick to be a big guy. To be a big guy, he's quick on his feet. I used to see big guys, they used to dance on the dance floor. And when they dance on the dance floor, they light on their feet. And fast can run.
Well, how big is Zion?
Zion was, 6'6".
Zion, what kind of points are we talking about with Zion?
Zion he used to hit about 18, 20 points a game. Yeah.
Okay, Zion.
So I was looking for Zion to come through, but he didn't. He's on the injured list. And then the Spurs
stays on the injured list.
He stays on the injured list. But guess what? He's making that do-re-mi on the injured list.
Okay.
And then you look at it, and then you got the Raptors played against the Spurs, and the Spurs won 125 to 118. And then the Golden State Warriors, they lost last night.
Okay, let's talk about this game.
The Clippers came through and beat them 124 to 119.
Just might have had that chin because that was a close game. A close game.
That's right. It was a good game. James Harden came through with 39 points, and then Steve Kerr came through with 36 points.
Listen, I can't say that I'm real disappointed with the Warriors because Jay Harden is one of my, I'm a fan favorite.
That's the bearded man.
That's what I'm talking about. Yes, he's been playing for quite some time.
Yeah, he started out with OKC.
Absolutely.
And then he's playing now with the Clippers, and and he,
He still got it.
he's still good at it. And they won 50 games this year out of 30 and lost 32. So my hat's off to James Harden and
Absolutely.
the bearded man for him contributing 39 points.
That's right.
And 38 points from my friends, Steph Curry. See, Steph Curry, he could have had one of the things that caused him to blow that game last night was Damon Green.
Why you say that? Because he did. Yes, you're right. He had opportunity to really, really make the team win.
This game was won in overtime.
Absolutely.
And they had an opportunity. He could have put a layup up and tied that game last night. But he couldn't get it. And Jimmy Butler got hurt yesterday. So, when I look at Damon Green, I want to say sit down.
No, that's our three, our big three.
Just sit on down.
Curry, to me, he's kind of like easygoing playing. He plays good, plays hard. He's, of course, the fan favorite.
But he got hurt though.
Jimmy is right, and he's
Butler's doing
right
a
at
wonderful
home,
job
and everything. And your boy, he did make a little boo-boo.
That's right.
Because he could have helped win that game.
Well, here's the score that everybody looking for: the overrated team, the Lakers, the Portland Trail Blazers. They beat the Lakers.
Mr. E, you can't be overrated when you've won 50 games.
Well, OKC won 60 games.
Yes, but I'm saying they're not.
They're overrated.
They have they're up there. They got those numbers now.
They overrated. Portland Trail Blazers came down and won 109 to 81. They beat the Lakers. The Lakers got firepower. They supposed to be undefeated.
Well,
they supposed to win every game. And then they had the audacity. The Lakers had the audacity to go get Bronny.
What you mean? You got to put him in there sometime to strengthen his game.
And Bronny can't hit the back of a ball.
Yes, he did 4 points. Keep putting him in there and see what happens, Mr. E.
Oh,
it's in him. It's in his DNA.
I can't
it's
tell.
It's in his DNA. Just keep putting him in.
Go back down to the G League, Bronny. Go back down there.
I don't think so. I think he has a chance.
Okay. He got a chance hitting 4 points.
Yes, you got to start somewhere.
Hitting 4 points.
At least he's in the game. He's not like your boy home hurt every 5 weeks.
If my boy
Zion,
if Zion had some help down there, see, AD supposed to went down there and helped him. He should have stayed there. That would have been a dynasty if Anthony Davis. See, Anthony Davis has been flip-flop around. He hooked up with LeBron, and LeBron cut him. He cut him. He cut AD.
Ooh.
Put him away for another player. Just got rid of him, and AD become close, came friend, and now he gonna get rid of it.
Well, I tell you what, yeah.
And then
keep up the good work.
And then the Suns played against the Kings, and the Kings they beat the Suns 109 to 98. But here's the stats. I want you to look at the stats on the back.
Okay.
When you look at the standards on the back, we got the standards and everybody that is here. Here's some of the codes that you got to pay close attention to so you'll know what the glossary is saying. W means win. L means loss. Points are winning percentage. Game back. Home. H. Home record. Away games. The division records. Conference records. PDG. Points per game. And, these are some of the things. But here's the thing that I want you to pay close attention to.
All right.
Because now we're getting close to the playoff. You're going to see the word Z.
Mm-hmm.
The word Z stands for clinch the conference.
Uh-huh.
The word Y stands for clinch the division.
Okay.
The word X means clinch the playoff berth. The word PB means clinch play-in berth. The word E means eliminated. You got to get away from it.
Bye-bye. You get the remote, go on home.
Go home and get you some batteries. And when you go home and get you some batteries, you'll find out. So let's look at the standards.
Okay.
Well, when we look at the Western Conference, when we look at the Western Division, you'll find that the Eastern Conference said, here's the best of the best. That Cleveland, Z.
Mm-hmm.
That Boston, Z. That New York Knicks, X. And that the Indiana Pacers, X.
Okay.
Atlanta Hawk PB, the Chicago Bulls PB. It's a possibility that they get there. Miami Heat PB, and under all the rest of them, they got E's. You flunked out. You're going home.
Toronto
Who?
Raptors,
Uh-huh.
Brooklyn Nets, Philadelphia 76ers, Charlotte Hornets, Washington Wizards.
Going home.
Goodbye.
Bye-bye. See you later. Get some batteries at the dollar store. They're $1.25. Now, when you look at the Western Conference, you're going to find the first team that you see is OKC.
Of course.
They clinched the conference. Then you got Houston Rockets, they got a Y, they there. Lakers, they there. The Denver Nuggets, they there. The Clippers, they there. The Minnesota Timberwolves, they there. But here's the next few teams that got to play tonight to decide whether or not they gonna be there. You got the Golden State Warriors. It's a possibility they might lose tonight.
They may.
The Memphis Grizzlies, possibility. The San Sacramento Kings, possibility. Dallas Mavericks, possibility. Who's been eliminated?
Phoenix Suns and Portland Trailblazers.
Bye-bye. Go home.
Got to go.
See you later. Along with the San Antonio Spurs, the New England Pelicans, and the Utah Jazz. You going home. Get you some batteries. Get you some stock up on some batteries and go home and play at home. Look at that. What are the James Madden, Joe Madden, NBA basketball, PS5. You know, that's why so many people hanging out with them PS5 because they get them E's.
So, Mr. E, their teams going to the playoffs. We already know.
That's right.
OKC.
That's right.
And there are some that's already been eliminated, gone home.
Bye-bye.
But then this game tonight with the Warriors and who?
The Warriors begin to play tonight, and this will determine whether or not the Warriors
are going to go on
to the playoffs. This will determine whether or not they gonna make it. They gonna make it tonight.
I know you just mentioned the Lakers a little bit earlier being overrated, but they're already in.
They're already there. So the Warriors,
they've done well.
The Warriors play tomorrow night. They play against the Grizzlies.
Okay.
And so this will determine whether or not they're going to be in the playoffs. So you got sports talk for you, Miss Hinton?
What's your prediction?
My prediction tonight that the Warriors going to win.
They better win.
They better.
Or else they
play tomorrow night. They play tomorrow night.
Well, that is marvelous. I tell you what, I hope you all have enjoyed these games. Are you all ready for the playoffs? I mean, hey, it's been exciting, I think, Mr. E. And but are you all ready to see some go by the way for real? Who? I want to know. Just look in your crystal ball and tell me, who do you see? Name at least 3 teams with the potential of winning the finals.
OKC.
Of course.
That's one of them. And one of the teams I really don't want to say.
What? Tell me. Say it.
I really don't.
You want to say the Lakers, don't you?
I really don't want to say the Lakers.
Why you don't want to say the Lakers?
Boston
Give them their
Celtics.
props.
Boston Celtics will be there, and
that's your final 3.
OKC, Boston Celtics, and the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh.
Now you have it.
Well, we'll see. We'll see.
Now you have it. That's Sports Talk. And listen, don't forget to join us on Sports Talk every Monday from 9:30 to 10. Listen, to tell us everybody about our special guests that we got coming up.
Okay, well, we have an upcoming show, and we've talked about a lot of things, but immigration is something that when you say immigration, people listen. And so we have Ramin, what is they? Fatty High? I think it's Fatty High. He'll give us the correct. But he's going to come on talking about immigration and deportation.
Yeah.
And we would love for you all to make sure you meet us here on Wednesday at 9:30 a.m. Mr. I wanted to rewind. You had mentioned Dwayne Wade. And Dwayne Wade has been diagnosed with cancer.
Yeah.
And he's, you all pray for him. He's a great star as well. And, suddenly, sometimes life brings those suddenlies. And you all pray because sometimes, it's hard to go through and experience things like that. And so we're praying for him as well. But anyway, you all make sure you keep it locked. Wednesday will be a great show. Of course, men and women issues, Don't forget to follow us on social media. Go to our pages on Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook Live, all those things, and follow and subscribe. I tell you what, it's been a fantastic day, sports talk. Don't forget to meet us tonight.
That's right.
We're going to talk about around the town with Everette, community news, and hot topics. We're just going to continue to introduce those things on our FYI After Dark. 6 p.m., Facebook Live, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Meet us there.
And one of the topics that we're going to talk about is Gail going to the
Oh, my goodness. Gail, you better come on back here, Auntie. Gail, traveling mercies. You and the 11 traveling mercies. We'll talk to you all about that a little bit more on this evening. God bless you. Have a wonderful day.
For the past 30 minutes, you've been listening to the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world. That's FYI Radio Show with your host, Miss Yolanda Lady Hinton. I'm Everette, the co-host. Don't forget to join us Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 9:30 to 10 right here on WGPL 1350, WMDA 88.9 FM, Peace 95.3, WPCE 1400, and on all social media platforms. Don't forget to go to Facebook page and like and share and like. Don't forget to go to YouTube. Don't forget to go to and all the pages and like and share and subscribe. Okay? Have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful Monday. The temperature supposed to get about 80 degrees today. So get out there and enjoy.
Oh man, sports talk is so exciting. The games are exciting. I have high hopes for the Warriors because we do love the Warriors. They've been past years winners, champions, and I like to see champions win again. So we're gonna be checking out that game.
So you want to see LeBron them win? Do you want to see?
I do.
I want to see them too.
He's Mr. E. He's a star. LeBron is a star too, Rod. You can't take it away from him. LeBron, keep up the good work. Keep up the good work because he's gonna be that star again too.
Where Daddy left off at. Yeah.
And Zion, please, Zion, you got to come up, Mr. Eben. He been for you all for a minute now.
Mr. Zion, he's gonna make it. I'm looking at two things that he's doing. He's still making that cheese. When he came out of college, he came out early.
We don't want to pay athletes for not doing anything, Mr. E.
Well, if they get hurt, guess what? They got to be paid.
Well, I tell you what, sports talk has been a wonderful thing. We have, who is this? John Turner on with us on Facebook. Thank you for joining us. Thank you all for your support. And we're going to continue with our sports talk. We know we're close to the playoffs. That's interesting. Mr. E said he don't get into it until he gets to that place. A lot of people are like that.
That's when the skills come out.
And so we're going to see how this thing plays out. But in the meantime, let me announce Pizza and a Dialogue. Look, if you have a youth group or if you have a community group or after school group, if you want to join in with Pizza and a Dialogue, we're inviting Crystal Community Development Young Women's Achieving Success Program, inviting you all out for Pizza and a Dialogue on Wednesday in Chesapeake. You can call 757-287-6792 for more information.
That's right.
Now, Miss Lee is going to tell you how you can be a special guest.
If you'd like to be a special guest, an intern
or sponsor with FYI Radio Show.
With FYI Radio Show. All you got to do, if you want to be in our audience, you tell them. If you want to be in our audience, tell them what they need to do.
I would just say you was rushing my speech. Go ahead, Mr. E. Tell them.
All you have to do, if you want to be in our audience, if you want to be a special guest sponsor or intern on the most talked about radio show in the whole wide world, all you have to do is give us an email. It's at FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Again, that's FYIRadiosHowLive@gmail.com. Or you can inboxes on FYI Radio Show, FYI Edward Everett's Facebook page, Miss Yolanda the Lady Hinton Facebook page, or you can call us at 757-714-7861.
Look at our friend, the _Kimberly _ D join. Look, that's our girl, Miss Kim. Thank you for joining us on Instagram. Look, you all be blessed. Have a wonderful, wonderful day.
2 up, 2 down.
Yeah.
VA. Bye now.